I've got some tips for you, and it's not because you serve up a mean cup of coffee. Welcome back, my friends, to the Renewed Homestead. You know, I'm Ben, and I've got some... How am I supposed to record with you wookieing at me? Friends, welcome back to the Renewed Homestead. I'm Ben, and you know, in all the things that we do, it's like, you know, these might be some things that the viewers might be interested in. It's just some of it's random thoughts, some of it's memories and things. But thought, well, you know, let's give you some tips here. I apologize if I've got some echo. Yes, the background isn't this beautiful. We will have the filters for our shop vac so we can get all the dust vacuumed off and start painting in the next couple of days this weekend. It's going to be a cold weekend. It'll be a good time to, cold, like 12 degrees low, 9 degrees low, snow. All the plants are out there budding. Anyway, we will get a fire going in the wood stove. We can spend the days in here working on this. But anyway, so we talked about doing some, offering some tips or advice. And one of the things we were talking about is back in Arizona, you know, we lived in a regular neighborhood, you know, HOA, and we're, you know, shoulder to shoulder, no space. But you know, one of the things that's it's kind of funny as you sit out on the porch in the summer, it's like, ooh, somebody's firing at the barbecue. Ooh, they're cooking on charcoal. No, that's gas. Oh, they're cooking burgers, or no, they're cooking chicken, whatever it is. And just from the smells, you could tell what they're cooking. Well, that's all well and good, but if we do get into a desperate situation and people are hungry for food, the last thing you want to do is advertise that you've got something cooking. You know, I know this sounds apocalyptic, and that is not what I'm trying to infer, but, you know, seriously, if there are food shortages and people are hungry, the last thing you want to do is have a barbecue going and those smells going. And so then what are your alternatives? You're thinking, okay, well, if, you know, let's just kind of walk through a scenario. Okay, you don't have electricity, so now you can't cook inside. Well, I'll just go fire up the grill. Well, there you go. You're advertising that you've got these smells. An alternative to that, and if you've not seen a rocket stove or a rocket jet stove, check them out. They're actually really cool because they're very small. They burn very hot, and the way that the chamber works in there, it burns clean, so you don't get a lot of smoke. So you're also not advertising, you know, from your backyard that you've got a fire and that you're cooking something. And it just runs on twigs or leaves or, you know, whatever you can shove in there. You don't have to have charcoal. You don't have to have propane. So you would have a way to cook. So to that end, you know, from the cleanliness side, you know, if we're in this scenario, the electricity's off, and now you're scrounging for water, and you've got, you know, catching rainwater, or, you know, drinking the water out of the back of the tank of the toilet. And seriously, that water is still good. It hasn't been through the toilet. It's just fresh in, just like it would be in your sink. But if it's something you need to boil, well, there you go again. Are you going to want to fire up charcoal and advertise that you're cooking something and alert people that you're there? But the rocket stove, you could set a pot of water on there, sterilize it? Yeah, get it clean enough so you can drink it. Or you could cook in it. You could cook, you know, maybe, you know, I know there's a new trend where people take like a vacuum sealed bag of meat and they boil that bag. I don't want my meat cooked in plastic, but again, we're in this scenario where we're short on food, so I'm sure I would eat anything, but that might be a possibility for cooking your food. You put it in a Ziploc, put it in a pot of boiling water, then you don't have the smells wafting out to your neighborhood. And again, this is, you know, in a neighborhood situation. Out here, you know, our closest neighbor, good friends, they're part of our preparedness. I mean, really and truly, we incorporate with the thought of them being part of our preparedness group. So if something happens, we're going to be taking care of each other anyway. So if we're cooking, it's not a problem because they are welcome, and there is enough for us in this close community here. So anyway, check out a rocket stove. But again, to that point, don't, if times are tough, don't be out there advertising. And if you're cooking at night too, I mean, during the day you got to worry about smoke, but cooking at night, well, now if the power's out, now you've got the glow on the back fence or in the trees that there's somebody in the backyard cooking. So anybody who's walking up and down the street, looking, marauding, whatever the case may be. So keep that in mind. And to that same end, it's good to have candles and things for in your house, but there again, if it's nighttime, consider putting sheets up in the window or something. Make sure you've got heavy curtains, because there again, somebody walking up and down the street, they see a glow in the house or the whole house is lit up with candles, might not be the best idea. So a couple tips with that anyway. Another tip, talking about cleanliness, this is a Boy Scout trick. If a lot of us use the foam soap or the liquid soap. My kids will laugh because, ooh, it's foam soap. We'd get their patty cake with the foam in our hands. And anyway, so if you don't have that, or just as an alternative, a bar of soap. I know we all think, oh, yuck, you've got this wet bar of soap on the sink, provided your water's still running. So what the Boy Scouts do is they will take like a women's nylon sock, hosiery or whatever. If it's even pantyhose, you could cut it off below the knee, drop the bar of soap in there, tie a knot in it. Now, one, you've got a way to hang that soap so it stays dry, and you can wet your hands and actually rub, just excuse Loki for yawning. Apparently, I'm not that entertaining, at least not to Loki. Had your dinner and you're ready for bed. Anyway, so you get your hands wet, you can rub that bar of soap in the nylons, it stays there, stays dry, doesn't get that gooey mess, and get your hands clean, but it prolongs the life of the bar too. If it can dry quickly, that soap's going to go a lot longer than, sitting in a wet bowl, sitting out there. So, tip 1 and 2 kind of together, tip 3 with the Boy Scouts. And we'll go ahead and throw one more in, and this one comes from my grandmother, and grew up during the Great Depression, and you don't waste anything, including Grandpa's underwear. So when they would wear out, well, boy, that is still good elastic. So she would cut that elastic off and reuse it. I mean, she would sew her own clothing, and she could use that elastic inside clothing. You can't tell once it's sewn in, but also she would save all of her shoe boxes, and that's how she would keep things and knickknacks, whatever. She would put that elastic around the box so it wouldn't pop open, throw it up on the shelf, and they're all neat and organized, and they were still all like that when she passed, and they were cleaning out the house, still with Grandpa's underwear on there. So I'm sure she didn't cut it off while he was still wearing them, but never know. So anyway, all right, so those are just some tips, and like I said, some random thoughts that we've had out there, and the viewers can't hear over you. Milk Boy over at Permapastures Farm does not do that. He's staring at me, of course. So, anyway, please comment if you like just random goofy tips. We were thinking maybe we could do a bi-monthly, like Tip Tuesday. Yes, it's Thursday, but Tip Tuesday every other week or at least once a month. I don't know. Throw your comments out there, see what you think. But also to that point, we do apologize. We are way overdue to get you guys a video. Denise is not feeling well. She's been laid up the last couple of days, and so it's just kind of set us back a little bit. I've been out running around chasing all those guineas, and we did get our new chicks in. We'll show you. They threw in a few extra. A number extra, but we'll hit that on another video. But I wanted to give you some quick tips and see what you think of the idea of doing a Tip Tuesday. Homesteading life is good. This 2011 sweatshirt from my son's state championship football game, they did win. From 2011, It now fits. When I moved here, it was way too tight around here. So, farm life is good. So, anyway, all right, everybody, I've delayed you long enough. Hope you are having a great day. We really do appreciate you. Give us a thumbs up. Make sure you comment. Catch us over on Rumble if you're on there. Get those pets spayed, neutered. Be good to be good to yourself. Be good to each other. All of God's blessings to you all. Be safe. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.